The McCain campaign is getting very negative. Right now they have a very negative ad on Senator Obama, the celebrity ad during the Olympics, while Senator Obama has a positive, uplifting ad about the importance of Olympic spirit. Senator McCain is the Washington celebrity here. His campaign is run by lobbyists that represent Georgia and other countries. This is a campaign run by lobbyists, so we have a Washington celebrity campaign going on, and it's negative.
I think this should be a campaign where both candidates can talk about their positions, not attack each other. Bottom line is this. I think that certainly if it was a contest to see who's the better speaker, the better celebrity, Senator Obama is ahead. But when it comes to substance, when it comes to the experience of really being a reformer, Senator McCain has taken on his own party.
I want to now read you comments from this McCain campaign against Senator Obama. Quote, "The Obama campaign has offered nothing more than cheap and petty political attacks that are echoed only by the Kremlin. The reaction of the Obama campaign to this crisis, so at odds with our Democratic allies and yet so bizarrely in sync with Moscow, doesn't merely raise questions about Senator Obama's judgment, it answers them." Is that really an appropriate response for a crisis this severe?
Well, you know, Senator McCain first went to Georgia back in 1997. He is, as soon as this crisis emerged, in no uncertain terms, said that Russia should withdraw its forces, observe a ceasefire, suggested that there need to be true international peacekeepers there. I think this is another example during these uncertain times where we need experienced leadership. We need somebody like Senator McCain. He stood for the surge in Iraq when it wasn't popular to do so.
So you don't think that Senator Obama is echoing the Kremlin and has views that are bizarrely in sync with Moscow? Is it fair to say you don't share that?
Well, I agree with what you asked the governor, Governor Richardson. I think it was wrong for Senator Obama to try to focus on a McCain advisor rather than actually listen to what McCain had to say about the policy, rather than recognizing McCain's years and years of experience when it comes to international affairs.
Let's take a look at another McCain ad. Here it is.
Washington's broken. John McCain knows it. We're worse off than we were 4 years ago.
Does Senator McCain really believe that this country is worse off than we were 4 years ago?
Sure. All along the trail, John McCain campaigns around real people. He goes to town halls and he hears what they have to say to him. You don't have to be in very many town halls, Chris, to understand that people are pinched by the increase in gas prices. They're losing jobs because of some downturn in manufacturing. And the economy as a whole has been very hard on the American family. That's what John McCain's referring to. He doesn't have to go very far every day to find those kinds of examples.
Last year, he voted to support Bush legislation 95% of the time.
Senator John McCain, the maverick, the independent, he's his own guy.
Given that, if the country's worse off, isn't both the president and John McCain, aren't they both responsible?
Well, look, if you want to talk about history, then you can make all the cases you want to make.
Well, you're talking about history. You're talking about the last 4 years.
Exactly. And what I'm talking about, though, right now is what the future holds and who's got a plan to cut taxes and get the economy moving again. Because growth is the only way we're going to improve people's situation, whether it's in their family or small businesses. And so John McCain's got a plan for growth. Let me remind you, too, there's been never a bigger maverick in this town than John McCain. I mean, we talk about how many times you voted for Bush or against Bush, but you've been in this town a long time. Who was the biggest irritant to this administration for the last 10 years or last 8 years? John McCain.
But I got to come back at you. If you say the country is worse off than it was 4 years ago, clearly the president has got to bear some of the responsibility. And by his own record, by his own admission, John McCain voted with the president last year 95% of the time.
Sure, but I mean, how many of these things actually had anything to do with the current economic conditions or where we are in other places?
The Obama camp, I don't have to tell you, is pounding you for your work as a lobbyist. In 2003, you lobbied Congress, and Senator McCain in his job as chairman of the Commerce Committee helped you to allow the German-owned DHL buy Airborne Express. You made, from this German-owned company, about $600,000 in lobbying fees. The Democrats are making a big deal of the fact that DHL is now talking about taking 8,000 jobs out of the state of Ohio. Are you and Senator McCain going to do anything to try to prevent that?
Well, first of all, let me correct you. Senator McCain did not help me do anything. I represented Airborne, which was the incumbent in that location in Ohio, and they wanted to be bought by DHL. And there were people in Congress who didn't want to have that happen. John McCain has always believed that foreign investment in this sector is fine, and unless there was something that was inappropriate about the deal, it should go forward.
Well, that's how he helped you, is to the
But he
degree
didn't
that
help me. He helped the people in Ohio, because those jobs were probably going to be lost if they didn't get taken over because of the competitive nature of this business.
But now DHL is talking about taking...
I haven't represented DHL or any of their entities since 2005, when I completely got out of the lobbying business. So what you have here, and frankly, a typical situation by the Obama campaign to try and change the topic. John McCain has only the most kind things to say about the people there. He just came from a town hall with the people affected there. Barack Obama won't go there and hold a town hall.
Can you, will you, or Senator McCain try to do anything to get DHL not to take those 8,000 jobs away?
Senator McCain in the town hall with the people affected most by this told them that he would do what he could do, look into the transaction. By the way, this is a different transaction that occurred almost 4 years ago. So it has nothing to do with any of the things he'd ever done before. And he didn't really have the level of detail that he needed, and he's going to look into it.
He has certainly come nowhere near closing the deal. As we've talked about before, in this year that should be such a Democratic year, given all the other indices, he is tied in the polls and stays tied in the polls. And going off this week to a vacation in Hawaii does not make any sense whatsoever. I know his grandmother lives in Hawaii, and I know Hawaii is a state, but it has the look of him going off to some sort of foreign exotic place. He should be in Myrtle Beach, and if he's going to take a vacation at this time. Well, and I just think that this is not the time to do that.
McCain, in addition, has a real sense of disappointment that Obama would not come onto the platform and start debating with him this summer. He believes, and I think with some basis, that if they were facing each other side by side, they would be conducting a much more civil campaign.